This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. As everyone knows, President Trump had a decisive and substantial victory in 2024, and I don't even think Democrats would deny that. Like, some would say, no, he didn't, he did not have a mandate, he did not actually win or something crazy like that, but let's be honest here. Trump's victory in 2024, it was decisive, it was substantial. He won the popular vote by like 1.5%. He swept all the swing states and by very big margins. Outside of maybe Wisconsin, he won places like Arizona by 6, Nevada by 3, won North Carolina by 2.5 to 3, Pennsylvania by 2, Michigan by 2. So he won all the swing states by very good margins. So yeah, it was a decisive victory. It was substantial. He swept everything, and he's the reason the Republicans right now have a Senate and House majority. But the thing with 2024 is Trump's victory was so substantial and decisive that I don't think enough people are talking about some of the biggest swings in 2024 that happened. Because yeah, everyone talks about what happened in Arizona or Pennsylvania, the states that decide the election. But in my opinion, the biggest political earthquake from 2024 was not from Pennsylvania or Arizona, which, again, I'm not denying Trump's victory was impressive. It was. And if these trends continue, Democrats are in a lot of trouble. But I would argue it's not even what happened in southern Texas where Trump swept everything. Not even California where Trump absolutely ran it up in the Central Valley. No, no. Of everything that happened in 2024, the biggest political earthquake happened in New Jersey. And I know some people talked about it on election night because it was shocking, but at this point in time, a lot of people have just forgotten how close New Jersey really was in 2024. Now, it was still a Harris victory, let's be clear about that, but not by 10 to 15 points. No, no. Trump lost New Jersey by just under 6%. Yeah, New Jersey. Guys, this has been a Democrat state for decades. I know sometimes Republicans were able to win New Jersey at the local level. I get that. But guys, it has not voted Republican at the presidential level since 1988. And ever since then, outside of 1992, it's been a safe Democrat state. Outside of 1992, which was a very close race, but that was with Ross Perot on the ballot, and 2004, which you could argue that was because of 9/11, it's been a safe Democrat state. It's been a Democrat stronghold. Democrats have won it by like 10 to 15, if not 20 points every single year. So yeah, it's been a Democrat stronghold for a long time. Well, what happened in 2024 shocked everybody. As President Trump, he lost the state, okay? He did lose New Jersey by like 6%. But compare that to 2020. Joe Biden won New Jersey by 16. 2016, Clinton won it by 13. 2012, Obama won it by 18. Not even in 2004, where, yeah, Bush did very good in the state, he still did worse compared to President Trump. Trump lost the state by just under 6. Bush lost it by under 7. So, yeah, it's been a Democrat state for a long time, and Trump absolutely ran it up in 2024. But despite this, a lot of people have either ignored this margin that Trump got, or they try to make excuses. They're saying, oh, the margin that Trump got in 2024, yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, it's clear a bunch of Democrats voted for Trump, but they're claiming that it's a fluke. It was a one-off occurrence. What happened in 2024 was because Harris was so unpopular and Joe was still president. That's the argument. And they're saying, well, if turnout was even higher, Trump would have done even worse. And that's what the argument has been for a while. Well, I can safely say no. This idea that this was a fluke and this was a one-off occurrence, it's not true. As Emerson College released a brand new poll a little while ago, and the numbers shocked everyone, including myself. Like, I thought that New Jersey was shifting to the right, but what they found was shocking. As according to Emerson College, President Trump's job approval in New Jersey is 47% approve and 47% disapprove. Yeah. It's tied in New Jersey. They found Trump's approval tied in a state that he still lost in 2024 by 6 points. Yeah. Compare that to Governor Murphy, by the way, who is a Democrat. Phil Murphy is the Democrat governor of the state. And he's underwater by 5 points, as only 40% approve of him and 45% disapprove. In other words, Trump is substantially more popular than the current Democrat governor of New Jersey is. You can't make this up. I mean, this is a real poll. This is not fake news. This is a real poll conducted by Emerson. And when I saw this, I was shocked. I was like, wait, this has to be a spelling error. This has to be a mistake. This has to be something. No. Emerson College really found Trump's approval tied in New Jersey. Compare that to September of 2020, and Trump was at negative 18. Right now, it's tied. So in the span of just 5 years, Trump's approval has swung by 18 points in the positive direction. Does this seem like New Jersey is a fluke? That what happened in 2024 was a complete fluke and there's no way Democrats are going to lose the state? Does this look like a fluke to you? No, it doesn't. In fact, it looks like things are actually accelerating in the state. And they actually asked more questions that kind of vindicate that, yeah, Democrats have a big problem here. For example, 53%, aka a majority, prefer the next governor of New Jersey to work with the Trump administration. So a majority of voters in New Jersey want the next governor to work with Trump. This is insane. I never thought in a million years that this would be happening, because this is such a huge shift in just, 7 months? That you would think this is insane. There's no way that this is happening, but no. This is coming from Emerson College. They're a respected pollster. And they're finding that the voters of New Jersey have had enough. They're saying, no, we're done voting Democrat, or, they're getting sick of the Democrats. I still think New Jersey is still a Democrat state, but it does seem like a lot of voters are saying, we're done. We are done with this crap. In fact, there is one part of the poll that really tells me what's going on in New Jersey, why the shift is continuing, because it made sense in 2024. Cost of living got really bad in New Jersey. The issue of immigration was bad because it impacted places like New Jersey, New York the most, stuff like that. That made sense. But why after the election is Trump's popularity going up in a place like New Jersey? Well, they asked voters, okay, has the recent deportations of undocumented immigrants by the Trump administration make your community safer, less safer, or no impact? And 46% of voters in New Jersey, not nationwide, just in the state of New Jersey, said, yes, it made my community safer. Only 24% said less safe, which I guarantee you, the 24% that said less safe, those are the partisan Dems. Those are the partisan Democrats that no matter what you do, the economy could be booming by 500%. There's no inflation. These people would still say Orange Man is bad. And 31% said no impact. So a clear plurality of voters said, yeah, Trump's policies are making my local area safer. It's making my town safer. It's making my city safer. And it makes sense because parts of New Jersey, especially the northern half, they got absolutely hammered by Biden's terrible policy, because a lot of these immigrants, they were going to places like northern New Jersey because, well, New York City is right there. And a lot of voters in these areas, they voted for Trump just for this reason. They're saying, okay, this is crazy. The amount of people coming here illegally is insane. It's ruining my city. I'm going to vote for Trump. And for those that don't believe me, the biggest swings in 2024 in the state occurred in northern New Jersey, right on the border with New York. It makes sense. A lot of people that work in New York City, a lot of them, they live in New Jersey. And they have to deal with the crap happening in the city of New York. So it makes sense why Trump's approval is probably higher in New Jersey, because his policies on immigration more than likely is impacting New Jersey the most, or even New York, which explains why his numbers are actually going up in these areas. And these same areas were the reason that Trump did so good in the state. Again, the entire state swung big time towards Trump. It wasn't just the northern half, it was also the southern half that swung, but the biggest shifts came in the northern half of the state. Well, the best example came from a specific city, Patterson, New Jersey, which I think most people have heard about, but for those that don't know, this is a city in northern New Jersey. It's only like 8% white. It's 65% Hispanic or whatever. So, yeah, this is an area that's been Democrat for decades. In fact, in 2012, Mitt Romney did not even crack 7% of the vote here. He got 6%. Barack Obama got 93.6%. Not even in 2004. Bush got 17% here in 2004. So it's been a Democrat area for decades. Well, in 2024, Trump got 34% of the vote here, which I don't know for sure, but this might be a record, at least in the modern era. No Republican has done this good in Patterson, New Jersey in decades. That's a big deal. I mean, this is insane. And this area got screwed under Biden. They were the ones dealing with what was happening in New York City because they're right on the border. And now it looks like these same voters, they love what he's doing. They're saying, yes, he is making Patterson, New Jersey safer. He's getting rid of these really bad people that should never be here. They're gone. They're out of here for good. We love Trump because of it. In fact, this is a big reason Trump actually won Passaic County, which again, has not voted Republican in like 40 years or whatever, since like 1992. So President Trump ran it up in the northern half of the state because they got sick of immigration. They were getting hammered by it. And now Trump is delivering. And these same voters, even the ones that didn't vote for him, they're saying, hell yes, we love what he's doing. He understands what we want. And we voted him in to deal with the issue. And that's what he's done so far. And compare that to the Democrat Party, meanwhile. The Democrat Party, they're not supporting what Trump's doing. No, they're doing the opposite. In fact, everyone remember that New Jersey mayor like Ross Baraka, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey? Yeah, they asked voters about him, and take a guess what they found. 44% support the recent arrest of Ross Baraka. Only 38% oppose that. A Democrat mayor of Newark. So, even in New Jersey, people have had enough of the Democrat Party when it comes to immigration. They have had enough. And this is why the state is trending heavy to the right. And I really believe that if we run a good campaign, if Jack Ciattarelli runs a good campaign, we could actually win this race. Like, I really believe that. I really believe if Jack Ciattarelli, who more than likely will be the Republican nominee, if he runs a good campaign, gets the party behind him, and if Democrats don't learn their lesson now, we could actually pull off the upset. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I want to be clear about that. I'm not saying the Republicans are going to for sure win New Jersey. But at the bare minimum, Democrats have a big problem here. It's clear that the voters have had enough. They're saying, screw you guys. You have done nothing to fix this issue for decades. Trump, meanwhile, showed up like 5 minutes ago, and he's already having a major impact. These violent criminals, they're gone. And that's going to help him in a place like northern New Jersey. And it already seems like it's working. It seems like people are loving what he's doing. They're saying, hell yes, we support this. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to New Jersey in the next couple of years. I just can't get over the fact that we are talking about New Jersey as a state that could maybe flip in 2028. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but right now, these numbers look horrific for Dems. And that's not including the party registration numbers, which it looks even worse for them. It's not looking good for Democrats whatsoever. A lot could change, but if you're the Democrat Party, you're probably sweating just a little bit, like, we have a problem here. If we're struggling in New Jersey, yikes, this could be bad. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.